Hello and welcome to the Overdrive for Windows Laptop and PC tutorial. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is to actually get the app. So we need to go to the Windows Store, which is on the bottom of your page on the little taskbar. There is a white shopping bag with 4 little squares on it. That's the Windows logo. The squares are in orangey red, green, blue, and gold. When you click that once, this screen here will open, and we're just going to quickly type Overdrive. Okay, and down in apps, here it is. You notice mine says owned. Yours should say free. Now the reason mine says owned is because I've previously had it on my computer, and when you take it off, it never 100% removes it from your library in Microsoft. So when we open this, it's going to be slightly different for mine than it is for yours. So we're going to just click anywhere in this box, and it will open the Overdrive page. Now your screen should say Get right here and will not say you own this app in this spot. When you click on Get, it should take a moment and go through to this install page. There is a possibility it will ask you for your Microsoft Store ID and password. That would be the ID and password that you set up when you first got your computer. And it's generally the ID is your email address and the password would be whatever you set up. If you don't remember that, you can simply click on Forgot Password and they will send an email to your email address with a link to create a new password. Okay, so once it gets to, you've clicked Get and it comes to this screen, you own this app and install. We're just going to click Install. We'll get a process thing here that will say pending, then downloading, and the blue bar lets you know where you're at. And when it's ready, it will say this product is installed, and we click launch, and we are ready to go into the app. Once you click launch, this is the screen that you will see. Now you're going to take your library card number in just a moment. You do have an account because you have a library card, so you're going to click have an account, sign in here. And from here, we're going to sign in using our library card. And the library is New Tecumseth. And here it is under Simcoe County of Simcoe Library Cooperative. And from the drop-down menu, we're going to find New Tecumseth Public Library, and we're going to put in our PIN number, 23900 300, and then fill in your own numbers. And we click Sign In. So now we are signed in to the app. Just wants to know if you're 13 or over, and so we are. So you can fill this in as you wish. Our name is NTPL and my email address. If you would like help finding your next title, you can click yes. I'm going to teach you how to search, so I'm not going to click it, but that's totally up to you whether you do or not. Now we are inside the app, and we need to add our library. So we're going to type New Tecumseth and search again. And here it is. We click on that. We click on County of Simcoe. And we are inside the County of Simcoe website while still inside our app. So we're going to sign in. And now we're signing in to actually check out books and things. So we have to choose our library from the drop-down menu. And we're going to put our card number in once again, 23900 300, and then your number. And the PIN. And sign in. Now, if you're on your own personal device, you can stay signed in. If you are using a shared device, when you're finished, you can always sign out. Okay, we are now in the database. So I'm going to actually look at accounts first, and I'm going to go straight to settings. Standard settings are 14 days. Ebook can go for 21 days, and we do strongly recommend that you change it to that because you can always return early, but you can't always renew. Just like a physical book in the library, if someone else is waiting for it, we can't renew it. You have to return it so the next person can have it. So if you leave it at the longest thing, even if you can normally read a book in 7 days or less, in case anything crops up, an emergency happens, or things, you just don't feel like reading, you've got it for the longest possible period of time. You won't know until 3 days before whether or not you can renew. So again, setting it for that 21 days is highly recommended. So this little spot here, the history, it will display your history. Now you can click learn more to find out why it does it and how it does it. And all of that details there. We're not going to go into that right now, but you do know now how to find that detail. Of course, when I hit back, it takes me all the way out again. And settings. Okay, so if you unclick this, it will not show your history anymore. It'll give you this big, are you sure you want to hide it? Here's why we believe in it, blah, blah, blah. If you want to hide, click hide. I'm going to leave mine up for now, so I'm going to click cancel. Content preferences. Now, this is especially helpful if you're setting up for one of your children and you only want them to read juvenile books or young adult books. You can just click juvenile, and the only things they'll find when they do a search are books that fit their reading levels. You can also click juvenile to young adult and give a range. If you're an adult and you really don't want anything, for kids, you can just do general adult, or you can do general adult with mature adult. Mature adult would be things like 50 Shades of Grey and other of the racier type novels. If you only click mature adult and then you look for James Patterson, you will not find him because he's not racy. So depending on what you have clicked off, it will just shorten the number of replies you get with your searches. I tend to leave mine on all audiences, just basically for the purpose of teaching, because you never know which age group I'm going to be working with. Finally, in our settings, we have display options. We have high contrast, which works, it reverses everything. So you have a black background with white and bright lettering. This is apparently especially good when you have very tired eyes. And a lot of patrons say that they prefer this setting for nighttime. Just a note, this is only on the website, and it won't affect when you have an open book. There's a whole different area for setting your settings there. So high contrast or regular contrast. And then if you are dyslexic or have a little trouble following words across the page, they do have this dyslexic font, which is much easier on your eyes and allows, it works within your needs. Okay, so those are the settings. So to go back to the home page of the Simcoe Library Cooperative of Overdrive, you just click on the logo. That is the home button, so to speak. Now you will notice that, excuse me, you'll notice that these top ones all look the same, more or less. They have a bar at the top that is, for all of these ones, gold and says available. Then they have the cover, the title, the author. Now here's where they differ. This one says ebook. This one says audiobook. And you'll notice that there's a little graphic beside each one that matches. So if you want to listen to a book, you're going to be more interested in this one. But if you want to read a book, it'll be this one. Beside each one is a little 3-dot menu. In here, you can read a sample, or in the case of the audio, it would say listen to a sample. You can view details. You can view a series to see where it belongs in the series. You can add it to your history, which if you've already read it in a paperback version and you want to remember that, oh, I've already read this book, you can add it to your history so you don't repeat. And then there are suggestions of other titles that you may also like based on this title. I'm going to click View Details just for a moment so you can see what this does. It shows you what series it is and what book number. It also gives you information over here. It tells you that this is juvenile fiction and juvenile literature. It's in English. It is an EPUB, which is the best format available for ebooks. And then it gives you here the description that you would normally find either on the back page of a paperback or the inside flyleaf of a hardcover. Again, there's a borrow option and a read a sample option. There's an add to wish list and add to history. We didn't talk about add to wish list on the first page, but we'll go back and have a look at that now. As you can see here, it says borrow. And here is a bookmark with a plus sign. That bookmark is your add to wish list option. Why would you do a wish list? Say your sister phones and you've already got 4 books out, but she tells you, hey, you really, really, really have to read Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, and you're worried that you'll forget what title she told you. You can look it up right away and you can bookmark it to your wish list, and then it will go in a list as kind of a reminder of this is something I'd like to read at some point, although not right now. It's easy to take it off your wish list. Just simply click again, and there you go. Okay, we're going to pause for a minute and be right back. So once you've placed this on your wish list, you can go to my account and see your wish list, and there it is. And this will show you all titles or available now. Right now we only have the one and it is currently available. So either way you look, you're just going to have the one title. You can change your mind if you've read it and remove it. Or when you're ready, as long as it says available here, you can click borrow here. We're not going to borrow anything right now. We'll go through how to browse and how to search first, and then we'll come back and we will borrow something. So going back to the main page, here we have subjects, and you can browse all formats, just ebooks or just audiobooks. Now, for this moment, we'll just change it to ebooks just for a minute, and then we will grab mystery. And this will show you a slightly different graphic. This one here says waitlist and place a hold instead of available and borrow. And you'll notice all across the top. This one here says coming soon, which means we've ordered it, but we don't have it yet. Again, because it is coming, you can place a hold. If you look here on the left menu, you can see all titles, which is what's currently showing, available now, which is everything that is currently available and ready to be checked out, coming soon, things that have already been ordered and will be available soon, and recommend to the library. This option is not available in the Libby app, which you would use on your mobile devices, but is available for PC and laptop because of using the Overdrive app. So that is where you can recommend titles that the library does not currently own, says not owned here, and recommend. And if you make a recommendation, and the title fits within the parameters of the how Simcoe County Library does their purchasing, they'll purchase it and you will be the first one to read it, just like if you adopt a book in the physical library, except in this case, they're not asking you to put the money in. Okay, so back to all titles. And we have a coming soon Louise Penny. Everybody loves Louise Penny. You can, if you want to read this, click place a hold. And the first time you do this, it will ask for your email address. But so it tells you that this is not expected to release until August 31st, 2020, but we've already purchased it. So if you want it, you're going to type in your email address. Wow, it would help if I could type. And you type it in twice to confirm, and then you place a hold. And then it tells you success. And this, I'm number 31 on the list for it. And here are some other things I might be interested in while I wait. Now I'm going to go to manage your holds for a minute. And you can also see this in your account if you drop down and go to holds, but we're already in. So there's different things you can do here. You can see where you are. You can edit your email if for any reason you have to change your email address. You can suspend your hold if for some reason you're going to be away but you don't want to lose your spot in the list. usually that gives a drop-down menu. There we go. You can suspend for 7, 14, 21, 28, 60, 90, or 180 days. What will happen then is as the list shortens, you'll continue to move up with it, but if it comes to be your turn and you're not available to read it, it will just bring one person above you at a time so that you maintain your place until your suspension is over, and then you're in. Now, we don't actually want to suspend right now, so I'm going to click cancel. The other option is if you manage to get your hands on a copy somewhere else, you can remove the hold. And it will double check, do you want to remove this hold? You can cancel, or you can go ahead and remove. Okay, back to our subjects. Let's look at an audiobook this time, and there is no mystery in here. All right, let's go to classic literature. Waitlist, place a hold. Same way as those coming soon. Available, if you want it, you simply click borrow. And it gives you one more option to change your time. Always put it to the longest available. And borrow. Now, success, you have borrowed it. Now you need to download it to be on your device. So click download. And it will download inside your app. So it has been added. Do you want to go to your bookshelf or keep browsing? Let's go to our bookshelf and have a look and see what it shows. So now you're in the app on your device, and here's the item. So this is an audiobook. You can simply click play from here, or you can click on it.
Primera parte del ingenioso hidalgo Don Quijote de la Mancha, versión audio narrada por Jesús Ramos para audiomol.com.
And you can see up here, some titles are available to burn. So you could burn it to a CD if you have a CD burner. You can transfer it to an iPod or an MP3 player. And along the way, as you're listening, you can bookmark and go back. This is very helpful if you're in a book club or anything and you have spots where you want a note to talk about. Once you bookmark them in the audio, this will list what you've got showing. Right now we don't have any. And of course, the menu is here and you can skip forward and back. Down here we have some icons. We have rewind, skip back 15 seconds, skip forward 15 seconds, forward. You can set a timer so that if you're listening while you go to sleep, you can set it for 30 minutes or 60 minutes, however long you think you want to listen before you fall asleep. This will allow the speed for playback. You can slow it down a bit, you can speed it up, or you can leave it at normal. You just play with that until you're happy with it. And then as you're listening, as I said, you can bookmark spots that you may want to refer to in your book club meeting, or if you're doing a paper and you need to refer back. It helps you find the spots that are important to you. Okay, and then this little back button takes you back to our main page. Now, if you right click on this, a menu opens at the bottom. You can open, you can change your cover size, you can add a title, which is the same as clicking here.
Primera parte del ingenioso hidalgo Don Quijote de la Mancha. Capítulo primero, que trata de la condición.
Okay, I'm going to go back to the library for a minute. I'm going to go to my loans. And now normally in that screen, it will do this. And you have a return button here. It should have been in that past screen. So we'll just return from here. Are you sure you want to return this title? Return. And we'll try again with a different one in a few minutes. Okay, so that was borrowing an audiobook. Now let's borrow an ebook. Okay, so we click on borrow. And 21 days is our default. Again, we can change that, but we highly recommend that 21 days. Borrow. Success. It is now checked out. It's due on May 18th. I can borrow 4 more titles. Grand total, we can take 5 items out at any one time. That could be all ebooks, all audiobooks, or a combination, but 5 is the max. Okay, and we're going to download. and we're going to go to bookshelf. And this is not showing as returned yet. So it's showing 2 in your bookshelf, and this is the one that you're currently playing. If we click on this, it's going to open the book. And now turning pages is a bit funny in here. You got to kind of click and slide, click and slide. And if you do a single click, you'll get your menus. And you can go back a chapter, skip a chapter. You can change your settings. This is fantastic. You can change your font. CNIB highly recommends sans serif fonts. You'll see here there's like the little taggies that go up and down on that. That's a serif. And Times New Roman, Courier, Georgia, they have those little serifs. But if you look at Arial, it's all rounded and soft and much easier on your eyes. You'll find the same thing with Lucinda. So you can just go through the things that are offered here and find the one that best suits your eyes. You can also change the font size. It can be absolutely tiny, or it can be massive, or any combination between. The line spacing separates the amount of space between each line. Medium is the standard. Small puts things a little closer together. Large opens it up a bit, and larger gives it lots and lots of space between each line. It all depends what your comfort level for your eyes is. There's also the margins, which do the space on the edges. And medium's the standard. Small brings the words right up close to the edge. Large really widens these spaces out. So you can pick and choose whatever is comfortable for your eyes. Then we have color scheme. You can have day, black on white. You can have night, white on black, or sepia, which is a brown on beige. Whatever, again, is most comfortable for your eyes. And then you can have columns or turn off columns, and it's all one page. You can have page animation. So if some publishers put some animation in there where things move about, if this is enabled, that will show. And your default layout is what the publisher put it together as. When it's enabled, this part's all centered, and that, whatever you're comfortable with. You might prefer to just have, wrong one. You might prefer to just have it all left justified. Okay, so those are your settings. Again, if you tap in the middle, you get your menus. Up here is the contents, so all your chapters, the cover. If you scroll over, sometimes it will have the back cover, not always, but your about the author will be there, your copyright. Back to that menu. Details will give you that back cover. And bookmarks, again, you can set your bookmarks. As you see up here, there's a grayed out bookmark, and as you turn your pages, let's get actually into the book before I show you this. Ooh, look, a pretty map. You never know what you'll find in your book. Okay, so here we are in the book, and you want to mark this spot, bookmark it, because there's something in there that you want to mention in your book club. Again, a single click, and then if you look, it'll tell you that you have this bookmark. You can delete it by clicking delete, or you can click back on it. What else is in the menu here? If you need the dictionary, if you want to delete and return, if it's causing trouble, you can click repair and see if it reloads properly, or just reload and go to, if there's a particular page you'd like to go to or a percentage of the way along the book, you can do that. And then when you click this button here, the backwards arrow, it takes you back to your bookshelf. Now, if you're finished with the book, you're finished with the book, if you right click, again, the menu opens and it should offer you a return early option here, and I don't see it. So we'll go back to Simcoe County Cooperative and to loans and click return. Are you sure you want to return this title? Return title. So now we've taken out an audiobook and an ebook. We have searched by collection, by subject. You can also search by collection and it will show you ebooks and a whole bunch of options, audiobooks, a whole bunch of options. So let's just say you want Love Between the Covers, available, borrow. These are mostly all available, which is excellent. You can again click all titles. You can sort by title, by author, random, by date added, by popularity, or by default. Now, if you go by release date, we'll put the newest ones first, and look at all the available titles here. Isn't that fantastic? Okay, so the final thing we want to look at is how to do a search. If you know a title or an author, but not both, this is where you're going to go. So maybe we want everything by Colleen Coble. So this one has a wait list. So if we wanted it, we would place a hold. This one is available, so we could borrow. There are lots and lots of ways down the side where you can narrow down your searches too. So, you know, please feel free to play and find what you're looking for that way. Now, the other way we search is an advanced search. And if you know the exact title, or you are only looking for EPUB books, or this is where you can narrow it down all kinds of ways. You know that this is Christian, and then you click search. You're only going to get the most specific answers. So in this case, it is the one title that was recently recommended to me. Now, it is on loan. I could place a hold, or I could add it to my wish list. I'm not going to do either right now. Actually, I'm going to place a hold so we can go through holds again. So success, we've placed this on hold. I am number 1 and on the list, and there are 2 copies available. So I'm going to click manage my holds, and we'll have another look at that hold shelf. Again, we can edit our email. We can suspend our hold. We can click here to read a sample, view details, add to history, or get recommendations for things that are similar. Let's see what they recommend. Some of them, I'm not sure why they've recommended them, but it's an interesting list. Yeah, so while you're waiting, there's any variety of things that you may enjoy while you're waiting. Okay, I'm going to sign out now.